Hi, patrons, and hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your Thanksgiving week forecast. Usually I do a Wednesday forecast for my patrons. If you're not a patron, you're getting this forecast, you're interested in getting that forecast, you can check out the link in the description below. It tells you how you can get that. And if you are a patron, I'm going to give it to you a day early because for the travel of tomorrow and things like that, so you get a chance to have it a little early. And for everybody else, I wanted to get you this forecast because it's an impactful week. Not any huge weather events going on, although it is going to be active weather-wise. But stuff to talk about, and yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what's going to happen here. So the first thing, I'm going to start at the surface and then work our way into satellite and radar today. So first things first, we have a couple of low pressure systems here, basically connected to one another. This is kind of the southern jet stream influence. Here's the northern jet stream influence. They're kind of coming together, and you can see we have, if you look, this is southwest flow. We've got a high pressure system offshore that's counterclockwise flow around the high pressure system, and that is leading to some warmer air for today. So if you've been outside today, you've noticed it's warmer than it's been in a bit. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow. We'll probably see 50 tomorrow. We haven't seen 50 in quite some time, but that's about to all come to an end after we get through the rainy period tomorrow, and then maybe tomorrow morning, overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning is when we get a chunk of rain. And then maybe a bit of actually, as this front kind of comes through overnight Wednesday into Thursday with some heavier rain, but brief rain. That'll be our second chance of rain. And then after that, we start to kind of slowly move the temperatures down on gusty winds. So Thanksgiving Day is kind of a transition day where your high temperatures are probably happening in the morning, and then working through the afternoon, it gets cooler with gusty winds. Then Friday, Saturday, and even into Sunday, we're pretty chilly, but relatively quiet weather-wise before things get a little active to end the weekend on Sunday evening, really almost Sunday overnight. So let's take a look at satellite, and you can see that the two storms are somewhat separate. What's going to happen is eventually, after they get past us, they are going to combine and create and basically evolve into a very strong system north and east of us, and that's why we're going to get these strong west and northwest winds that are going to bring in the cooler air. But you can see they're still kind of separate. So this is the first slug of moisture that's coming in overnight tonight. And then this front will have a little bit of moisture associated with it and give us a chance at a kind of some gustier showers overnight, mostly Wednesday night into Thursday. But we should be done with any rain well before we wake up on Thanksgiving morning. So yeah, and then on Thanksgiving Day itself, a few flurries. We'll talk about the flurries and things like that to come. Let's take a look at radar so you can get an idea of what's happening here. Here is that first slug of moisture. This looks probably more impressive than it is, although we are going to get a decent amount of rain tonight. Probably not more than about a half an inch, but some decent amounts of rain. And then this little bit here, you can already see some some gusty lines as that kind of combines with the storm heading closer to us. That will develop into a little bit more with that gusty. I don't think we'll see a rumble of thunder. It'll be kind of like a thunderstorm cold front, though. But we definitely will see maybe a heavy downpour or two associated with it. They'll be brief, another quarter to a third of an inch of rain, maybe half an inch if you got really one of the real persistent spots there is possible. So a decent amount of rain, I'd say anywhere from about a third of an inch to 2/3 of an inch is what's likely for us total out of this system. So, you know, that's also still good. We believe it or not, we're still working on kind of fully busting the drought, although we've definitely made good progress on that over the last month and a half, 2 months or so after we had that real dry stretch in August and September. So yeah, that's what's happening. If we take a look at the upper level, we start to get a feel for the bigger part of the pattern. We have basically west to east flow with this one storm in the middle. But what's going to happen here is you can kind of see we've got a little bit of energy way to the north up in northern Canada. We've got this little, it's kind of hard to see, but actually because it's in the southern part of the jet stream, one little ripple, that's what's causing the surface low that's coming through tonight. Here's our next piece of energy. These are all going to combine into a big, deep trough over the eastern part of the northeastern part of the country, starting really Thursday through Saturday and even into the beginning of Sunday before that starts to lift out with our next storm that's approaching us. Next storm, the reason I'm not going to give a ton of details about the Sunday evening storm, we'll have to wait, and probably I'll be back on Saturday with an updated look at that forecast. But we have just some that energy offshore, basically up in Alaska now. That's what's going to be the next piece And so it's a little early to really be able to suss out details. And there are probably going to be some details with that storm to talk about. So we'll get to that as we get to the actual forecast. But let's take a quick look at temperatures. Again, you can see we're warm across the eastern part of the United States, but we do have cold air that's starting to really kind of gather in northwestern Canada. We're going to tap a piece of this. We're going to see a lot of 30s, really a lot of 20s even, and low 30s for Friday and Saturday especially. It's going to be quite chilly. And wind chills will be chilly both days as well. Let's take a quick look at that actual forecast, or let's get into the details of it. So overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, there's a period of rain. Then I think we get a pretty good break in the rain. It's pretty dry for a lot of the day tomorrow. Then around evening time and overnight, we have another brief round of that second slug of rain, but not wall to wall by any stretch of the imagination, 1/3 to 2/3 of an inch. Temperatures are about 50. So if you want to get outside tomorrow afternoon, it'll be a little wet where you go, but it won't be really raining from the sky, and it will be warm, so not a bad idea. Thursday is an upside down day, right? We're 40 still probably when you wake up, or close to 40 when you wake up on Thanksgiving morning. By the afternoon, we're in the mid-30s to low 30s. By the time the sun goes down, temperatures will be going down. It'll be windy, gusty winds, not damaging winds, but gusts to 35 miles an hour, definitely possible. There could be a very widely scattered power outage. I'm not too concerned about that. And there could be some flurries in the afternoon as well, particularly western-facing slopes. Friday, wind dies down a little bit, and the lake effect snow machine really gets going across upstate New York, really anytime from late Thursday afternoon through the day on Friday. So if you're traveling through upstate New York, just be aware there will be some significant lake effect snows. We don't really have to worry too much about that. We will see some flurries from it and maybe a period of a little bit of light snow, particularly for western-facing slopes, the upslope spots. You know where you are. Friday, most of us don't see any accumulation, but I do think some spots could see a little bit of accumulation with that kind of in your favored spots. I don't think it will really affect travel, but you should be slightly aware of it. Temperatures on Friday with winds in the 20 to 25 mile an hour throughout the day and temperatures of about 30. It's going to feel like a winter day. Saturday, wind does die down some, but still chilly. Maybe the coldest day in terms of high temperature wise, around 30. It might feel a little warmer, even though it's actually a little cooler on Saturday. Cold morning to start on Sunday. Temperatures come up a little bit, and then a wintry mix. TBD, really, on that Sunday into Monday. Doesn't look like a huge storm, but definitely could be enough that we need to pay attention in terms of what road conditions are going to be like Monday morning. I don't think it looks super significant, but definitely an organized storm with some precipitation around. How much of it will be rain? How much of it will be snow? Will it be some sleet or freezing rain mixed in there too? Really way too early, unfortunately, to get out the details on that, but I did want to give you a heads up. Like I said, Saturday I'll be back with an updated forecast for that Sunday storm. Let's take a look at those highlights. A rain storm in front that brings a couple of chances for rain tonight and tomorrow, brings colder weather. Cool temperatures and gusty winds will make it feel quite cold Thursday through Saturday. Thursday and Friday, we see chances for flurries, some accumulations on the western slopes possible. Yeah, not big accumulations, an inch or two basically, similar to some of the stuff we've seen, maybe a little bit less than what we saw like earlier this week. Sunday late afternoon brings another storm with wintry mess, and more details on the Sunday evening storm to come on Saturday when I give you the update. I do want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. Oops. Sorry about that. Let me actually pop them up on the screen. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, like I said, you'd always get this midweek forecast, which is usually Wednesday, but this week it's Tuesday. There's a link in the description below. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I'd encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos on YouTube. And like I said, I'll be back on Saturday with an updated look at the storm, basically the Sunday storm, and some early looks at next week as well. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for following, and I'll see you on Saturday.